the authors of picture books, honestly, they are incredible because they capture the profoundness of a 300 to 500 page book in 32 pages. This is the magic of a picture book. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. This is Colleen, and this is Cmoore-Books. As you saw from the thumbnail, this is my February reading wrap-up. Oh, goodness. And I was trying to find my PowerPoint for this reading wrap-up, and I'm like, well, where's March? And I was like, wait, it's the beginning of March. I'm looking for February's books. Guys, I'm like, I don't know what month I'm in. So heaven help me. Like, this is gonna be an interesting wrap up. I can already tell. And it's a pretty one. I wanted to do this like with me behind my like gigantic like bay huge window in my living room, but the lighting was terrible. Not that this lighting is much better. Let's see if I turn on this lamp if it gets in. You know what, that really didn't make a difference. It's my own fault. I'm just really pale. But I'll give you a little shot of the snow. It literally started snowing right as I came out to film this. And literally, like, I was in like dark shadow. I think it's the most tan I will ever be in my entire life. Yeah. I should have treasured that moment more than I did. So let me share my screen. I want to do some reading stats, and I always forget share screen. It's the big green button. Good grief. Okay, I'm just gonna share my desktop. Okay. So, yeah, I've read 61 books so far this year. Yes, I have a problem. Well, really the problem is I'm really busy, and this is what I do to de-stress, is read. So in the month of February, I read 35 books, which was 4,722 pages. The hours listened, that's not entirely accurate. But these are some of my moods. We had a good bit of lighthearted. Always emotional is gonna be right up there. Adventurous, reflective, mysterious, some funny, inspiring, informative. Wonder what that was. Dark. Surprisingly sad's low on the scale, which I am very, that makes me very happy that sad was so low this month. Hopeful and challenging. So for the pace of my books, majority of them were medium paced. Only 10% were slow paced. Then we got some fast paced books with 23%. Most were under 300 pages with 27%. With the reading vlog that I did at the beginning of the month, I read a lot of graphic novels and some picture books I did a lot of reviews on. I will link that down below if you want to check it out. Excuse me. So I'm just going to give you my star ratings for those here. So that's a lot of those count for the under 300 pages. And then 6 were 300 to 499. And then we had one over 500, and I have no idea what that was. Oh, yes. Oh, my heart. We'll talk about that later. 91% were fiction, with 29, and then 3 nonfiction. And I don't remember what they were, but we'll get there. So the majority were children's, with 18, 8 fantasy, 5 graphic novel. Always got to bring some middle grade in there. And all of these cross genres, so like the number's not gonna add up to 35. So has a manga in there. I feel like I read a Spy X Family. And I don't know how they get these tags because I don't tag them. So this is the true accurate 63.1 hours listened because I love listening to audiobooks. So I listened to 5 of the books I read this month were audiobooks. So Someone Knows, Tuesdays at the Castle, Spells for Forgetting, Inkheart, and The Nightingale. Then we'll get some more in depth on those. And the rest, the other 30 were in print. And then 35, the majority of mine were 5 stars, and then we only had 1 star this month. So, and then 1 2-star. We'll get a little into those. So, yeah, as you can see, the beginning of the month, this was the reading vlog time. And then it kept pretty stable throughout the month. And then I sort of had this last week was a migraine week. So yeah. So let's get right on into the books. Yes, I love school and PowerPoint, so I just have to always bring my PowerPoint back. So my 1 star, Someone Knows by Lisa Scatterline. If I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, I apologize. This is my first book by her. I read this for my work book club. So like it starts out in the present, where this girl, she's going to the funeral of a friend she knew in high school, and then like he had committed suicide, and then suddenly it jumps back to the past, and they're like, the blurb is like someone had done like someone had died like in the past, and they're like trying to she's still feeling the guilt about what happened with something in the past, and we're trying to figure out what happened. And there's a gun involved. This is like all on the cover. And there were just, I listened to the audiobook, and I don't think reading the physical book would have helped. I think that probably would have made it worse. But there were just a lot of perspectives. That's where I just, so many perspectives. I think like we got like 5 teenage perspectives, at least like, oh gosh, like 5 or at least like 4 or 5 of the parents' perspectives. So like it was a lot of heads. I was like, wait, who's related to? Because like they kept like jumping and jumping and jumping through all these perspectives, and like in the present, it was just like the one girl, like the main girl, and then like once we hit the past, we got all these guys, all these people's perspectives, and it kept flipping through like chapters, and I was like, whoa, 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 hold the phone, like. And the one kid, oh my gosh, Julian, boy's got some problems. He's got some problems. I'll just leave it at that. So that is Someone Knows. If you've loved this book, that is great. Like it just did not work for me. Yeah, Julian just really creeped me out, and just at the end it just got a little too ridiculous for me. I think if there had been less perspectives, like I think I would have liked it more. And then I'm just gonna go through these quickly. These are from my reading vlog. So Back to the Future, 5 stars. E.T. the Extraterrestrial picture book, 5 stars. Clueless, the classic picture, totally classic picture book, 5 stars. Labyrinth, Straight to the Castle. This is a board book, 5 stars. Godzilla versus King Kong. Sometimes friends fight, but they always make up. Count 10 Ways to Be a Good Friend, 5 stars. The Golden Girls, Goodnight Girls, 5 stars. I am wearing my Golden Girls pajama pants right now. Yes, they do not go with tie-dye, but when has that ever stopped me? 5 stars. E.T.'s First Words, 5 stars. Candyland Colors, 3 stars. Back to the Future Telling Time with Marty McFly, 5 stars. The Princess Bride Accounting Story, 3 stars. Twister, Right Hand Here, the book that ties you up in knots, 5 stars. And that is absolutely true. Let me tell you. You can just watch my blog. You'll totally understand. The Dark Crystal, Book of Opposites, Big and Small, Light and Dark, 2 stars. So sad about that one. Spy X Family, Volume 3, 5 stars. Oh my goodness. For those of you that have not jumped on this bandwagon and are still holding back, let me bring you along for the, just start now. I'm not going to talk about like this volume specifically, but we got a spy and he has to go out, infiltrate this school. So he needs a daughter. He goes to this orphanage, adopts this little girl. Turns out she's a telepath. And then he's like, well, I need a wife too to complete the normal family. And so the woman that he gets to agree to be his wife turns out, well, she's an assassin. That is her right there. The only person that knows who everyone is and what they can do is the little girl, because she's the telepath. And she is the cutest thing. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I've only gotten through 3 volumes because I've been sort of like slowly doing it because volume 9 comes out this month. I'm probably gonna binge volumes 4 through 8 now that volume 9 is coming out. Of course, after that, I don't know what I'm going to do. But yeah, please come along for this ride. I haven't read a lot of manga, but I just love it. So if you honestly are a manga lover, give me some recommendations. Because I've only read Spy X Family and I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, and I have loved them both. So yeah, help me along in this wide world of manga. Because I know there's a lot out there. Then we have Sunny Side Up. This is wait. Oh, I read this in that vlog too. Okay, so 5 stars. I should really. Okay, so 5 stars. I go more in that vlog. This is 5 stars. Go more in that vlog. This is a graphic novel, historical fiction. So powerful. I'll just leave it there. Demon in the Wood, Shout and Bone, graphic novel. So good. Brings the short story to life. Danny Pendergrast. Fantastic job with the artwork. Numb to This, Memoir of a Mass Shooting by Kindred Neely, 5 stars. There's some major trigger warnings for this one. I would check them out before reading this, but it was a very, very powerful memoir. Hamsters Make Terrible Roommates by Cheryl B. Klein, 5 stars. It's so cute and so funny. When Elephant Met Giraffe by Paul Good, 3 stars. Penguin and Penelope by Selena Yoon, 4 stars. Nothing Rhymes with Orange by Adam Rex, 5 stars. Poor Mr. Orange. The Legend of Valentine, an inspirational story of love and reconciliation, by Catherine Grace Bond, 4 stars. And also the illustrator is Don Tate. And then we have 100 Years of Happiness by Thane Halai. It was illustrated by Hyung Gwyn Kwong and Hyun Kim Lien, 5 stars. So beautiful. I give more thoughts in my vlog. Also read this in my vlog. Enola Holmes, Mycroft's Dangerous Game. The story is by Nancy Springer. And then this was written by Mickey George. The art was by Georgia Sposito. And the colors were by Enrica Angolini. Really enjoyed this, 4 stars. Then the Mortal Instruments, Volume 6, the graphic novel, 5 stars. Yes, I'm a shadow hunter. Girly. And then this is the first book that is outside of that reading vlog. So The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I read this for the book club at my library. I honestly did not even know how let's just say that bring the tissues. When I finished this, I had like a slight like headache and it was almost gone. And then I was just like full on like ugly crying, like weeping uncontrollably at the end. For at least like the last like, oh gosh, like 20 minutes of the audiobook. I listened to this on audio. It made my headache so much worse. Like I had a full on migraine after that. But it was just so beautiful. Oh my goodness, I don't even know what to say. So it's about 2 sisters. It's set during World War II. And the one sister, they've had a rough childhood. Their mother died and their father has been really distant. He was changed after fighting in World War I. So he sent them off to live with this lady, and then the older sister, she ends up getting pregnant and then getting married, and then the younger sister gets shipped off from boarding school to boarding school to boarding school, and then the war comes to France. They are living in France, hence the Eiffel Tower in the background. And the younger sister, she really wants to get involved in the war effort. And so it's just there are periods where we're in the present, and then most of it's told in the past. So it goes between the 2 sisters. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I had this audiobook like going so fast because I'm like, I need to know. Like it's the fastest I've ever like had an audiobook go, because like I needed to know what happened. Because I was dying to know. So yeah, The Nightingale. Highly, highly recommend. Just so good. But yeah, bring the tissues. Tuesdays with Maury by Mitch Albom. I really enjoyed this book. I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed learning about Maury. He was such an interesting man. I just wish I'd gotten to know a little bit more about him and his life. I just felt like I got more Mitch Albom, and I was not a fan of Mitch Albom. But the parts of but the lessons were great, and Maury was wonderful, so that's why I gave it 4 stars. But I docked it a star because, well, Mitch Albom really bothered me at some points, and he made a really fatphobic comment in one of the chapters that almost had me DNF it, but I kept going. So yeah. And I was like, I started Googling like, is Mitch Albom fatphobic? Like, so yeah. I was just not having her update. It might have not been as triggering as might be, but like it felt really triggering to me. So moving on. So this is Blanket by Journey to Extreme Coziness. So this is gonna be a few like picture books, because I was trying to find the couple picture books that I wanted to send to Kara from Kara's. Oh my gosh, I can't think of what Kara's channel is called. Kara's Bookshelf. Kara, I'm so sorry. I do have a headache right now. I'm pretty sure it's Kara's bookshelf. Oh my gosh. I do know things. Thank goodness for a phone. I just watched your wrap up. What is wrong with my brain? Yes, it's Kara's bookshelf. Kara, I apologize. My head. Um, I sometimes forget my own name, I'll be honest. So Blanket, Journey to Extreme Coziness. This book is so adorable. Yeah, it will just have you wanting to wrap up in a cozy blanket. Um, yeah, it is just as precious as I remember it being the first time I read it. And I'm so glad that I own it so I can read it anytime that I want. Then The Book with No Pictures by BJ Novak. Um, just pick this one up. It is, I can't fully you can't really describe this book. You just have to go to it blind and you have to read this book out loud to someone else. That is where the true hilarity and joy of this book comes from, is reading it to someone else. Once you do that, just come back to me and we can talk about it. Because it will have you giggling so much. And the person listening to it will be laughing really hard. And then this is one of the books that I sent to Kara, What the Road Said by Cleo Wade. Of course, 5 stars. Oh, the profound thoughts. Even in the author note, Cleo talks about how this book is not just for children, it's for adults, it's for anyone of any age. Like, the profound thoughts that are in here are just amazing. Whatever you're going through in your life, you can find it, like, the answers in this little picture book. The authors of picture books, honestly, they are incredible because they capture the profoundness of a 300 to 500 page book in 32 pages. This is the magic of a picture book. Yeah, that is why I have love of picture books and children's literature. It is why I became a children's librarian. Yeah, please just check it out. Then I read Inkheart by Cornelia Funke. This is one of my 23 books I wanted to read in 2023. Oh my goodness. I don't know why I waited so long. Carrie from Carrie Can Read. You were so right. This was amazing. I listened to the audiobook. I was just having a really busy week, and so I decided to listen to it, and it's just so magical. Oh my goodness. Like, I'm so excited to continue with the rest of the series. Like, I am ready to dive back into this world. So, like, how to even describe this book? So, like, our main character, her dad, he repairs books. And so they head to her aunt's house, who is the aunt of her mother. She's never known her mother. Her mother, her dad said, died when she was 3. And then so they go to the aunt's house. Before they leave, this old friend of her dad's named Dustfinger shows up, and her dad's like, shh, like, we need to talk about grown-up things. Of course she listens in, as all kids do. And so they start talking, and Dustfinger joins them on the journey, and they're talking about this book, Inkheart. And so it's all centered around this book, and yeah, I just don't want to give too many things away. Like, it's honestly, you should go into it blind. Like, that's all I want to give you. So good. Then I read Tuesdays at the Castle. This was the second book that we read for the tween book club that I am running at my library. This book is so fun. So this is about a enchanted castle. Every Tuesday, rooms can like appear and disappear in this castle. And there are only two rules that always remain with the castle. If you head east, you will always end up in the throne room if you keep heading east. And the second rule, if you make 3 left turns and then climb through a window, you'll end up in the kitchen. I didn't make up the rules, but that's how it works in Castle Glower. And our main character, Celie, she is so fun. She's trying to map the castle. That is her little castle atlas. And so the story opens with her parents going off to bring the oldest brother back from wizard school. And on their way back, it's said that their parents were killed by bandits, along with the older brother. And then the next, like the one brother, oh my gosh, why can't I think of his name right now? He is set in line for the throne. They're like, hey, it is time for you to be king. And then there's all sorts of plot and intrigue, and the castle helps them out, because the castle is like a live creature. Like the castle is like an integral part of the story. And this is a series, so it follows days of the week: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And I can't remember what all of the other ones go by, but it is a wonderful middle grade series. I cannot recommend it enough. It's so fun. This series, oh my goodness, The Fallen Kingdom by Liz May. This is the 3rd book in the Falconer trilogy. It took me so long to finish this book. I was not emotionally ready, and I wept so much at the end, and I knew I was going to. So I'm just gonna tell you about the first one, The Falconer. So we have our main girl, Alina. She is a falconer, so she can see fae, and these falconers are there to destroy and kill evil fae, to protect the humans from them. And so that is her lot in life, to protect the humans. And she meets this other fae who, it's interesting why he's even helping her, to train her to kill other fae. And so it is set in Scotland, and it's steampunk. It is such a good series. I cannot recommend it enough. Yeah, it is such a good series. Gosh, I feel like I wanted to reread already. But I need to emotionally like calm down after the ending of this book. But yeah, the Falconer trilogy, The Fallen Kingdom. The places we went, my goodness. Yeah. And then my final book was Bells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young. This was her, gave it 5 stars. This was her adult debut. Oh my goodness, can I just say vibes, vibes, vibes. This was giving all of the fall vibes. I read it in February, but honestly, the weather around here, it felt like fall, even though it's snowing right now. I don't know what the weather's doing. So it's set on this island off the coast of Washington State called Saoirse. And it's about this one guy, August, he left the island, oh gosh, like 14 years ago. He and his mom just left, and so he has come back to bury his mother, who has just passed away. And they did not leave under good terms. and there is mystery and intrigue. There is slight undertones of magic. And he left a girl behind. We have Emery. And not everyone, let's just say the people are not exactly happy that August is back. There is intrigue and secrets and lies that are still plaguing this town, and an unsolved murder. And many believe that August did it. Although he was never ever convicted of the murder. So yeah. And if you can, listen to the audiobook. The narrators are all fantastic. Emily Rankin, she's such a wonderful narrator. Oh my goodness. Dan Bittner does the voice of August. He is absolutely wonderful as well. They are two of my absolute favorite narrators. So yeah. So I hope that you have enjoyed my reading. Oh my goodness, suddenly I'm freaking out that wasn't all my books. Yes, it was. Hope you've enjoyed this wrap up. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want to join this crazy reading all the time group, I don't know what I'm saying, or life that I'm in, I would really appreciate it. And if you hit that like button, I'd really appreciate it as well. And also want to say, remember who you are and where you live. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.